Last year, TSA screened over 904 million passengers and pulled aside millions of bags. But here's the thing most people don't realize. It's not just guns and knives getting you flagged. Some of the most innocent, everyday items sitting in your carry-on right now are basically a red alert on that X-ray screen. And the worst part? TSA agents are actually trained to spot suspicious passengers before they even reach the scanner. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 carry-on items that will always, and I mean always, get you flagged at airport security. Some of these are going to genuinely shock you. Stick around for number 1 because it's something almost every single traveler packs without thinking twice. Before we dive into the list, let me give you a number that puts this into perspective. In 2024 alone, TSA intercepted 6,678 firearms at airport checkpoints across America. 94% of those were loaded. That means roughly 18 loaded guns were discovered every single day of the year. Now, obviously, we're not talking about firearms just yet, but that number tells you exactly how seriously TSA takes screening. Their machines scan over 2 billion carry-on items every single year, and when something looks even slightly off on that X-ray, that bag gets pulled. No hesitation, no second chances. So let's talk about what's actually triggering those pulls for regular, everyday travelers like you and me. Number 5, oversized liquids and the secret liquids you didn't even know were liquids. You've probably heard of the 3-1-1 rule by now. 3.4 ounces per container. 1 quart-sized clear bag, 1 bag per passenger. Sounds simple enough, right? And yet this remains the single most common reason bags get flagged at security every single day. The rule itself dates back to 2006 when British, US, and Pakistani intelligence foiled a terror plot to smuggle liquid explosives onto planes using ordinary drink bottles. That's why the limit exists. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people know their shampoo needs to be travel-sized. Most people remember to dump their water bottle before getting in line. But what about peanut butter? Yeah, you heard that right. TSA officially classifies peanut butter as a liquid. Their actual reasoning? A liquid has no definite shape and takes a shape dictated by its container. So that jar of Skippy or Jif you tossed in your bag as a snack, if it's over 3.4 ounces, it's getting confiscated. No questions asked. Back in 2012, a TSA agent in Las Vegas actually confiscated a cupcake in a jar because the thick layer of frosting inside was classified as a gel. The internet absolutely lost its mind. They called it Cupcake Gate, and TSA doubled down on that decision and has never reversed it. But here's another sneaky one that catches travelers every single holiday season. Snow globes. That cute little souvenir you picked up from your vacation? TSA treats the liquid inside a snow globe exactly the same as any other liquid. If it holds more than 3.4 ounces, and nearly all of them do, it's gone. TSA can't verify the exact volume inside the globe, so they default to confiscation every single time. The lesson here is simple. If you can spread it, squeeze it, pour it, or smear it, TSA considers it a liquid, and it will get you flagged. Number 4, powders over 12 ounces. Now this one catches a lot of gym rats, fitness enthusiasts, and home cooks completely off guard. If you're traveling with protein powder, pre-workout mix, ground spices from an overseas trip, supplements, or even ground coffee, and the container is over 12 ounces, roughly the size of a standard soda can, your bag is getting pulled for additional screening. No exceptions. TSA implemented the powder rule back in 2018 after serious security concerns about powdered explosives on international flights headed to the United States. Under current rules, any powder over 12 ounces in your carry-on must be removed and placed in a separate bin during screening. Officers may open the container, physically inspect the contents, and even swab it for chemical traces of explosives. And here's the kicker. If they cannot clearly identify what the powder is, they have full authority to ban it from the cabin entirely. Doesn't matter if it's your $60 tub of whey protein from GNC. If the label's been removed, if it's been transferred into a Ziploc bag, or if it just looks suspicious on the scanner, it's getting flagged and possibly confiscated. A TSA spokesperson was actually quoted saying, "Officers appreciate when passengers alert them to unusual items such as powders, formulas, and spices, so they might be best positioned to assist with screening. In plain English, tell them before they find it. Walk up and proactively mention the powder, and you'll have a dramatically smoother experience than if they spot a mysterious white substance on the X-ray. Pro tip, always keep powders in the original labeled container. And if you can, just toss them in your check bag. Not worth the 20-minute delay. Number 3, dense items like books, stacked electronics, and tangled cables. All right, this one is going to blow some minds. Books. Regular, everyday, completely harmless books can, and frequently do, get your carry-on flagged at the checkpoint. Here's the science behind it. Paper is an organic material that shows up as orange-colored blocks on TSA's X-ray screen. When you stack multiple books together, or you're carrying one thick hardcover, think a 1,000-page novel or a dense textbook. It creates an extremely opaque mass the X-ray machine literally cannot penetrate. To a TSA officer staring at that monitor, a thick stack of books looks almost indistinguishable from a block of plastic explosives or drugs concealed between pages. They physically cannot tell the difference without pulling your bag and opening it by hand. One published author on Reddit shared that she completely stopped traveling with promotional bookmarks and advanced reader copies because stacks of paper triggered a TSA search virtually every single time she flew. That's how sensitive these machines really are. But it's not just books. Any dense mass clustered in your bag triggers the exact same alarm. Stacked laptops, multiple external hard drives, power banks piled on top of each other, or a tangled rat's nest of charging cables and adapters. When everything's jammed into one compartment, the X-ray sees one giant, impenetrable blob. And the officer has absolutely no choice but to flag your bag for manual inspection. Here's the insider move that saves you time. Spread dense items throughout your bag instead of cramming them into one spot. In standard screening lanes, remove any electronic device larger than a cell phone and place it in its own bin. Even TSA pre-check passengers get randomly selected for additional screening, so the smarter you pack, the faster you move through that line. Number 2, lithium batteries and portable power banks. If there's one item TSA has been cracking down on harder than anything else in the last couple of years, it's lithium batteries. And here's the rule that trips up almost every traveler. Spare lithium batteries and power banks are completely banned from checked luggage. Let me say that again. You cannot put a loose lithium battery or a portable charger in your check bag, period. It must travel in your carry-on. The reason is genuinely terrifying. Lithium batteries have a well-documented tendency to catch fire when they overheat or get punctured. In a pressurized cargo hold at 35,000 feet, where nobody can respond to a fire, that's not just a risk, it's a potential catastrophe. These fires have been linked to multiple serious aviation incidents over the past decade, which is why the FAA and TSA take this more seriously than almost anything else on the prohibited list. Here's where it gets tricky. Batteries installed inside your devices, laptop, phone, tablet, are perfectly fine in either bag, but a spare battery, portable charger, or battery case not currently attached to a device? Carry on only. If that battery exceeds 100 watt-hours, you need airline approval. You're limited to 2 large spare batteries between 101 and 160 watt-hours per person. Get caught? TSA will remove the battery from your check bag. They may confiscate it entirely with zero compensation. If your bag is already loaded on the plane when they discover it during behind-the-scenes screening, that entire bag might get pulled off the aircraft, delaying your flight and potentially everyone else's too. The fix is simple. Keep all batteries in your carry-on organized and visible. Make sure devices are charged. TSA may ask you to power one on to prove it's functional. Keep them separated, not stacked, and you'll breeze right through. Now, before I reveal number 1, here's a TSA secret that might change how you act at the airport forever. TSA agents are already analyzing your behavior before you reach the screening machine. It's called the SPOT program, Screening Passengers by Observation Techniques. Since 2007, TSA has deployed specially trained behavior detection officers at over a third of U.S. airports. These officers watch passengers in line, scanning for 94 specific behavioral indicators. TSA spent over $900 million on this program in its first 6 years alone. So remember, and it's not just about what you pack, it's very much about how you carry yourself. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 1, the carry-on item that will always get you flagged. Firearms and anything that even remotely looks like one. I know some of you are thinking, obviously, but this goes way deeper than most people realize. Beyond those 6,678 real firearms intercepted in 2024, here's what most travelers don't know. TSA treats replica firearms, toy guns, BB guns, cap guns, compressed air guns, and even gun-shaped cigarette lighters with the exact same urgency as a real loaded weapon. The instant that image appears on the monitor, everything stops. Local law enforcement is called immediately. You are physically removed from the checkpoint. Even if it's a child's toy, you face a civil penalty of up to $14,950. Your TSA pre-check revoked for a minimum of 5 years. It doesn't stop at guns. Realistic replicas of explosives. At Boise Airport, imitation explosives with fake wires and detonator components were found in a suitcase. TSA responded exactly as if they were real, because on an X-ray screen, they looked absolutely identical to the genuine article. But here's what I want to know from you. What is the absolute craziest thing you've ever seen confiscated at airport security? Or have you personally been flagged for something totally ridiculous? Drop your wildest story in the comments below. I read every single one, and I might feature the best stories in an upcoming video. If this saved you from a TSA nightmare on your next trip, do me a favor. Smash that like button, share this video with a friend who's about to travel, and hit subscribe so you never miss another one. We drop travel secrets like this every single week. I'll catch you in the next one.